Let's see. It's always a mystery. It's always a mystery. You never know how that's going to go. Make sure everything set up. Alrighty. Let's give it a minute to see if anybody shows up first. It's good to check that. Yep. Perfect. Perfect indeed. Hello everybody on YouTube. Your boy the Memphis XLR8 coming at you with reviewing Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom cards. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Just something, it's something Yu-Gi-Oh! Related, but it's not dueling necessarily. It's just something different that I wanted to give it a shot. So we're going to be looking at a bunch of different archetypes. We're going to be looking at cards people have made. And we're going to be saying, seeing if the card's good, seeing if the card actually helps the archetype that it is meant to be helping, and we'll see how it goes. So, naturally, I'm the Kuribo dude. I like my Kuribos. So, we're going to be looking up, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom Kuribo cards. Alrighty. Hold on one second. I gotta move my thing here. There we go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go to images. There we go. And we get a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of custom Kribo cards. Where do we start? Let's look at this guy first. This is Light and Darkness Kribo Dragon. I'm going to have to keep moving this. I got a separate camera. I can't see the stream and this at the same time. There we go. Going to go ahead and zoom in on this dude. Light and Darkness Wing Kribo. Already, the artwork is amazing. I really like it. It's very nice. I like it quite a bit. I like the light and darkness aspect. Well, I could have done some... Well, no, the eyes look fine. I was thinking if they'd have different colored eyes, but that works just fine. So this is a no-level light monster. Questionable attack and defense. This is a fusion of Winged Kribo and Lightning's Darkness Dragon. Always treated as... Or its original level is treated as level 9. Interesting. Certainly an interesting... Why level 9 exactly? I don't know. Hi. Hey, First Alchemist. Nice to see you. We're reviewing custom cards tonight. Going to be looking at Cosmos later, but right now we're looking at some Kribohs. So what does this dude do? Must be special summoned from extra deck. Banishing the above cards from you control and or from your graveyard. So, easy to summon monster. Cards don't have to be on the board, they can just be in your graveyard, so that's already a plus. While this card's on the field, face up, treat it as dark attribute. Okay, cool. Let's see, the attack and defense of this card are 100 points higher than the highest attack monster on the field, except for itself. Okay, so it's like Wicked Avatar. I like that, I like Wicked Avatar. Wicked Avatar's a cool card. What else we got? If this card you control is sent to the grave by an opponent's card, special summon Mott from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's the one sticker on this one. Because if I remember correctly, Mott's effect is not it's not a quick effect or anything. So why you would want to summon Mott off of this, I don't know. I mean, the rest of the effect is fine. I think it needs a better floating effect or something, but other than that, I like the artwork on it. It looks cool. It's a cool looking card, and I like that it beats over things. And it's easy to summon, too, so this one gets a plus for me. This one gets a plus. Alright, what else do we have here? Let's just scroll through it a little bit. Ooh, let's look at this dude. Kribo Knight. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty darn epic. So, this guy is a dark. He's level 8. Dark level 8. Needs a Kuribo and any level 8 or lower warrior monster. Okay. No, again, not a very difficult summoning requirement there. Has to be fusion summoned. Or it has to be first be fusion. So, okay, so you can revive it. That's good. That's always good. This card's gains attack equal to the attack of the monster used to fusion summon it. Alright, so the bigger the monster you use, the better. Duel me for your hat. I love it. No, this is my hat. I bought this years ago at a What was it? It was like a comic book convention I went to. Little Umbreon hat. It's mine. No one can have it. What was I going to? Let's see. This card attacks. Okay. Piercing damage to the opponent. This card leaves the field. Summon level 8 or lower warrior from hand or deck. Again, this is an interesting monster. It gets some nice attack boost. It's kind of weird that you can't revive the monster used to summon it, which you'd think would be the effect of a card like this. But all in all, it's not a difficult monster to summon, so it's a nice thing. It's got some utility. You can use any monster to summon it if it's level 8 or lower warrior monster. That's a big pool of monsters you can summon this thing with. So again, this is a nice thing. That's the exact. Is that the exact same thing? No, this is a different Kuribo Knight. Let's see which one's better. This is a level 1 Dark, so it's already got synergy with the rest of the Kuribos. Let's see. When a Kuribo is normal or special summoned, you can summon this guy from the hand. That I already like. That I like indeed. Swarming. If this card is sent to the graveyard because of a card effect or destroyed in battle, add a level 3 Dark Fiend with 700 or less defense from the deck to the hand. Then immediately afterwards, you can normal summon that monster. Interesting indeed. I mean, I guess the idea is something like Kuriboh Bandit or something. Doesn't really make too much sense. I like the other knight better. The other knight was just a little bit better. Alright, what are you up to now? Curry Fighter. Alright, how many Kuribos? This is the 3rd Kuribo? I gotta keep track of that. No, this is to be the 4th one. Alright, I don't want to go to all Kuribos tonight. We gotta get to Cosmos eventually, but let's see what we got here. This is Curry Fighter, level 1 Earth. Okay, so he's not a light or dark, which is already kind of iffy, but what does it do? This guy attacks or is attacked during damage calc. Target a monster in your graveyard. This card gains attack, becomes the same as that target's attack during the damage calculation only. So, you got a big boy in your graveyard. This guy becomes the same attack as the big boy. Okay. It's an interesting sort of idea. It's an interesting idea. Doesn't really work with Kuribos on their own, though, because they don't have high attack on their own. But it's an interesting idea. It's more of a... You need some setup to make it work, but it's alright. What else does it do? This destroys a monster by battle. Target a Kribo in the grave. Add it to your hand. Alright. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I like the artwork. He's got the flaming eyes. He's got the eyes of the tiger. He's got them tiger eyes. So, all in all, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. What else do we got? Ooh, what is this thing? Curry Blader. He's like flying or something. Well, I mean, Kribos can already fly, but, Light, level 1. What do you do? Quickie effect. Target a monster you control. Equip this card from hand or field to that target. Monster equipped with this card cannot be destroyed in battle. Alright. So it's got a good, nice effect for just protecting a monster from battle. That's something. But what else does it do? End of the damage step. Equip monster attacks an opponent's monster. The opponent's monster was not destroyed. Destroy that monster. And if you do, draw a card. I kind of wish that was going both ways. If it was attacked or was attacking. But it's something. It's an interesting monster. It's not really a Kuribo. It's more generic than anything else. But it's an interesting monster. I just like the fact that he's got these little arm blades and he's just ready to just start janking people with them blades. He just starts stabbing you with them things. Let's see, what do we got next? I like the artwork on this one. This is Krebo Stein. I like that they used the zombie world background there. That looks pretty good. Okay, so you are a level 1 Dark Fiend, alright. When an opponent's monster that was summoned from the extra deck declares a direct attack, quick effect, you can discard this card, summon a monster from your extra deck, then change attack target to that monster. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Just cheat out any monster from extra deck. Well, not quite, because it doesn't say excluding summoning conditions, so there's a limit to what you can summon off of this, but there's still a good number of extra deck things you can cheat out with this, but there's more. Its attack and defense becomes 0. If a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster you control is destroyed by battle sent to the grave, banish this card from the graveyard, return that monster to the extra deck, draw 1 card. Okay, so the idea is you're getting attacked, you discard this, cheat out whatever from the extra deck that, you know, doesn't have a summoning restriction to it, and then that monster gets destroyed, and then you can, you know, put this, you know, banish this, put that card back, draw another card. There's certainly some utility there, and there are some monsters you could just cheat out that can't be destroyed in battle, like Lionheart, for example, is something you could do. You know, that way you can start reflecting a bit of damage there. So that's an interesting card. I wish it, you know, didn't exclude certain cards, but then again, it might be a little too good under that situation. So, again, I like that a lot of the people who are making these Kuriboh cards, like, seem to know what they're doing. Let's look at a couple spell cards. What is this card? Kuriboh's Blessing. Okay, quick play spell. That I already like. Let's see. Discard a level 1 monster until the end phase. If you would take damage, you gain that amount of life points instead. And level 3 or lower monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. That's a beautiful effect right there. It's exactly what Kribohs are about. Protecting your brothers. It's what they do. It's their whole thing, is just protecting the brothers. But this does a lot more than that. During the end phase of this turn, this card was activated. Add a Kuriboh card or multiply from deck to hand except for Kuriboh's Blessings. I really want this card. I want this card in the TCG right now. I really want it really bad. I really want it bad. This card is beautiful. Who made this card? Batmed. Thank you. You clearly know what you're doing, but there's more. There's still more. This one card does a lot of stuff. During either player's main phase, except the turn this card sent to the graveyard, banish this card from the grave, fusion summon a Kriboh fusion monster from extra deck using monsters from hand or field as material. Alright, so this goes with the Kriboh fusions we saw earlier. I mean, I like just the first few effects. You know, gaining life instead of taking damage. Just the fact you can search multiply off this. If all this did was search multiply, I would still enjoy this card. Because multiply is one of Kuriboh's best playmakers. So, thank you, Mr. Batman. This card is wonderful. I love it. I love it a lot. Alright, what else do we got in here? There's so many darn Kuriboh cards. I could probably do this whole stream off Kuriboh alone. But there's other decks I want to look at. Let's look at this one and one more. What is this card called? Kuribo Ring. It's literally a ring of Kuriboh. And hey, there's Blade Kuriboh and Fighter Kuriboh, and I don't know who that Kuriboh is. But what does this card do? While you control Kuriboh, you take no damage. I love it. Kuriboh monsters you control gain 300 attack for every Kuriboh in the graveyard with different name. Once per turn, excavate top card of your deck. If it's a Kuriboh, add to hand, or if it isn't, send it to the grave. It's an interesting idea, but most Kuribohs are getting discarded anyway, so... I mean, certain Kuribohs, like this certainly goes with some of the other Kuribohs we've seen, but like in a generic Kuriboh deck, not as well, not as much. It's certainly an interesting concept. I don't know about that one. Alright, let's look at... Ooh, what is this? Monarch Kuriboh, the Kuriboh Emperor. He looks so spiffy. Look at that wig. Look at that coat. Where are his legs? His legs are gone. I don't know where his legs went. Okay, so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12-star light fusion monster, so you know it has to be good. It's got 12 stars. Okay, oh man, that's some tiny text. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in just a smidge more. There we go. That's better. That's a wee bit better. Actually, that's not helping at all. Come on, baby. Come on, you darn touchpad. Go faster. There, okay. Ooh. Okay, it's not going to get much better. Okay, so this is a triple fusion of Winged Kuriboh, Wing Kuriboh level 9, Wing Kuriboh level 10. That's a hefty cost. Must be fusion summoned. Okay. You can only control a face-up Monarch Kuriboh, Kuriboh Emperor. Okay, well, at least you don't have to control Wing Kuriboh levels 10 and 9 to summon this thing. That would be ridiculous. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Banished by an opponent's card effect, or equipped to an opponent's interesting. Interesting. So you can't beat it in battle, you can't equip it, and you can't banish it. But you can still destroy it with an effect or kaiju it. Huh. Alright. What else? Also, you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card, okay? Other monsters you control cannot attack. This card can attack your opponent directly. This card's maximum number of attacks per battle phase equals to the combined levels of Kuri monsters in the grave. Hold on a second. Total number of attacks equal to the levels of the Kuris in the grave. So that's like 20 attacks right off the bat. 20 times 3 is like... I can't... my brain is not working to do the math, but I'm pretty sure that's an OTK right off the bat. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of damage, boys. That's a lot of damage. Let's see. So, literally just summoning this thing can attack 20 times minimum. That is a little insane. Just a wee bit insane. But what else does it do? There's something else here. When this card's destroyed, sent to the graveyard, this being a quick effect, you can summon Wing Kuriboh level 9 and level 10 from the grave, ignoring their summoning conditions, and you take no damage for the rest of the turn. Okay, so if it lives, it's an OTK. If it dies, it summons 3 monsters, one of which can nuke your opponent's board, and you take no damage for that turn. Well, Mr. Austin Kitchell, that's an impressive Kuriboh. I think that number of attacks is a bit insane, but alright, that's what you want. That's what you wanted your Kuriboh to do. That's what you wanted it to do. Alrighty. How long have we been doing the Kuriboh part? About 20 minutes. Let's go to another archetype. I think it's about time. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom Cosmo cards. Enter. Alrighty. We got some Cosmos. This is the guy I used for the thumbnail. I didn't look at what this does. I just want to know what it does. I know old Shim loves Cosmos, so let's see what the Cosmo players want their cards to do. So this is Cosmo Dark Planet numero dos. This is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 stars. Alright, so one more than Dark Planet. Cool, cool. What does this card do? 4,500 attack and defense. Can't be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from the hand by banishing 3 Cosmos with different names from hand or face up from the field. Alright. So this thing is actually easier to summon than Dark Planet. Dark Planet actually requires different, banishing 10 stars. This thing is just 3 with different... Actually, it's about the same. It's about the same, if you think about it. So, what else does this card do? Can be targeted. Okay, that's standard Cosmo. Once per turn, quick effect. Banish a Cosmo card from hand or grave. Target a card your opponent controls and banish it. Alright, so it gives Cosmo a little bit of interaction there. Just a bit of targeted banishing, interrupt your opponent's stuff. It's not a negation, but I actually like that better because I don't like getting constantly negated. Interrupting is fine, but getting negated constantly is never any fun. It's never any fun. Although summoning this thing, you're banishing 3 Cosmos, so it's less fodder to even use this effect. So even more incentive to running Burial from the different dimensions. What else does this do? I'm guessing it just summons another Cosmo. If it's destroyed, sent to the grave, banish this card, summon a level 10 or lower Cosmo, ignoring summoning conditions. Okay. So basically it just lets you turbo out Dark Planet if for whatever reason you wanted to do that. Or you can summon, Dark Destroyer, either one. So it's an interesting Cosmo. Certainly does some stuff and things, and I do like that it does stuff and things. That, I think, is a good thing. So, I like it. I'm sure Shim would also like it. I mean, it is 4,500 attack. Big beat stick. Big beat stick. There aren't as many custom Cosmos. Not as many as Kuriboh, for certain. Let's see. What else looks good? Toon is just a toon. Oh, of course. We have to look at this one. Cosmo Dark Trap. It's a trap! Alright, so this is a counter trap for Cosmos. If your opponent activates a card effect, destroy a Dark Cosmo you control, negate that effect. If you do, destroy the card, then banish a face-up monster your opponent controls. I mean, Dark Destroyer, Dark Planet numero dos. If they're destroyed, you're getting more stuff. So, it negates, destroys, lets you float into another monster, and it lets you banish another card non-targeted. So, it's an interesting card. I don't know how much Cosmos would want to run this, but, you know, if it was a real card, I would at least give it a shot. Maybe it's maybe a 2. Probably not a 3 of, but maybe a 2. Maybe a 2. Okay, what's next? See, there's just not that many custom Cosmos compared to the Kuribohs. It's a thing. It's a thing. See, because it all dies off around here. What else we got? Cosmo. Let's look at a spell. Cosmos don't have many spells. They have like the, let's see, they have the equip spell, and they have the field spell. That's about it. So what does this do? Reckoning of the Cosmos. Nice pun there. Okay, banish a Cosmo from the deck. If applicable, the effect of this spell becomes that of the banished monster. If applicable. It's not a quick play or anything, so you can't do no negating. You could use Dark Planet's effect. Something. You cannot summon monsters from the extra deck for the turn you activate this effect. Okay, that doesn't really apply to Cosmos. They don't have an extra deck. You can only activate Reckoning the Cosmos once per turn. Okay, so if there were, the thing is, Cosmos are mostly negation. So the only effect you're going to really copy with this would be Dark Destroyer. So, I mean, you could also use Dark Planet number 2. So, meh. That one's kind of meh. Let's look at a Link monster. If this one will load. Okay, that one loaded. Cosmo Mandalorian. Okay, he looks pretty cool. He's killing some dude. I think he just took the head off. That guy's head is gone. His head is gone. Okay, so this is a Link 3 Earth. Needs 2 or more Cosmos. Okay. Let me see if I can zoom just a smidge. There we go. If this card is Link summoned, take a Cosmo monster from main deck, either equip it to this card or send it to the grave. Tell me more. That's interesting. This card gains attack equal to the equipped monster's level times 300. Alright. I mean, that's 3,000 off of Dark Planet. So, yeah, make it a 5k beat stick. What else do you do? If a Cosmo monster, this card points to, is banished or sent to the graveyard by its own effect. Okay, so popping Dark Destroyer with itself will activate this. Target a card your opponent controls, banish it. Okay. If this Link summon card in the possession is sent to the grave by an opponent's card, shuffle into the deck as many Cosmo cards as possible that are banished, then draw 2 cards. You can banish this card from the grave to summon a Cosmo Baby Yoda from the deck. Do we have Cosmo Baby Yoda available? I don't see no Baby Yoda, so I'm just going to go off on a limb and say that Cosmo Baby Yoda is the most powerful Cosmo card. But this is an interesting monster. Makes itself nice and big, recovers your Cosmos, gives you some drawing power. Basically incentivizes you to have Dark Destroyer destroy itself so that you can then banish a card rather than just destroying it. So, it's an interesting card if nothing else. Certainly an interesting one. Let's see. Let's look at a couple more Cosmos. We'll look at a couple more. Let's see. What else do we have here? Like I said, there's not a lot of custom Cosmo. Let's look at this Cosmo Pathway. Alright. Continuous spell card. I like how they edited in you know, Hans and Leia and C-3PO and Chewbacca. I like that. That's some good edit right there. Are those action? I think those are action figures. But anyway, if a Cosmo monster is special summoned, you can target that monster and it gains 1,000 attack this turn. You can banish a Cosmo monster from your deck to draw 1 card. You can only activate each effect once per turn. Interesting indeed. Yeah, that counter trap was interesting. But yeah, this is an interesting one too, because, you know, Cosmos are normally big enough, but you could banish a Cosmo from your deck, draw another card, you could play, you know, Cosmo Town, and then get that monster back. So, it's an interesting idea, if nothing else, Cosmo Pathway. It's interesting. Okay, here's another spell. Here's another Heart of the Cosmos. Was this made by the same dude as before? I'm not sure. Heart of the Cosmos. Whenever you would pay life points to activate a Cosmo monster's effect, you gain that much life points when the effect resolves. So basically, the Cosmos lose their cost. That just makes Dark Lady even better. Well, I don't know about that one. If this card leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, all Cosmos spell traps you control become immune to card effects for the rest of this turn. They become immune, you say? Interesting. You can pay 1,000 life, add a Cosmo card from deck to hand. You can only use this effect once per... Just that last effect is the good part of this, is you know, get any Cosmo card for 1,000 life points. But then because of, you know, oh no, this doesn't work on itself. Cosmo. That alone makes this worth running in a Cosmo deck. Just search out any Cosmo. I don't know why you need the rest of it. You don't, because that alone was good enough. Ooh, what is this dude? Ooh, he looks cool. Cosmo Great Wizard. He's a great wizard, Harry. Let's see, what does this dude do? He is a level 3... He don't look like no level 3, but okay, level 3 Psychic. If all monsters you control are Cosmos, you can special summon this card from the hand. Okay. Quick effect, you can banish this card to special summon a Cosmo from your hand. Any Cosmo, okay. You can only use each effect once per turn, and all Psychic Cosmos gain 500 attack and defense. Is this really what the Cosmos need? Is just, this? Honestly, I think... Oh, no, that's Farm Girl. Where did Dark Planet go? There he is. I think this guy alone is... This guy's nice on his own, Mr. Dark Planet number 2. Some of these are nice, but I like him the best. Let's look at one more Cosmo. Let's look at... Nah. Let's look at this Synchro. Why not? I would like to see what the Synchro does. Cosmo Dark Witch, which does not look like Dark Witch. That looks like Darth Vader. Let's see. Psychic type tuner, one or more non-tuner Cosmos. You are level 7. Okay, that's not bad. This card is also treated as a machine type. Very interesting. So it's 2 different typings. That's different. Can't be targeted by an opponent's card effects. Okay. This card's special summoned. Period. Not just synchro summoned. Special summoned. You can target a monster your opponent controls in attack position. Make its defense 0. What? Put it... What, the monster in attack, its defense becomes 0. Oh, okay. Oh, and if you do change it to defense, but I didn't read that. I didn't read the next part. Okay, so it takes a monster in attack and puts it in defense, gives it no defense. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, what else? Banish a Cosmo from the grave. Summon a level 4 lower Cosmo monster from the deck. Then you lose life points equal to its attack points. It only uses effects once per turn. Okay, well, that's still not bad. You know, this lets you cheat out Farm Girl, and then this will beat over the monster that got reduced to defense with Farm Girl. Farm Girl searches. You're giving up 2,000 life points to do that. But if it works, you're turboing out Dark Destroyer and doing 3,000 damage. So, in the end, this one, it works. I mean, there's no Cosmo Tuner, obviously. But it's still alright. And I'm seeing a lot of Darth Vader cards now that I've clicked on this dude. Okay, let's go to the next archetype. Let's go to the next archetype. Let's see, I'm going to be looking up Naturia. Naturia custom cards. Alrighty. Oh, there's a lot here. There's a lot more here. What do we got? Let's look at the first one. This is a spell card. The Seed of the Sacred Tree. That is a spell. Alright, what does it do? Add a Naturia card from deck to hand or your graveyard. You can banish this card from the grave, normal summon a Naturia in addition to your normal summoner set. Okay. I like the idea of this card. Not just because it's a searcher. Not just because it lets you get an additional normal summon, which Naturias appreciate. But the problem is there's no once per turn on this. Or any restriction at all. If there was a restriction, I would actually love a card like this in the game. Because Naturias would then be able to search out their members and get normal summons, set up Bamboo Shoot better, so they can go into their lockdowns better. You know, or do synchros or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is what, not Cosmo, this is what Naturias need. Naturias need more help than Cosmos. Okay? Cosmos don't need this, but Naturias sure as hell could use this. What else do we got? Small Society. Is that a Naturia card? No, that's something else. Let's look at Naturia Bambi. I put him in the thumbnail for a reason. It's because it's Christmassy looking. It's Christmassy. Okay, so this is a Link 3. Earth, Plant. 2 or more monsters with 2,000 or less attack, including a Plant Tuner. That's some restriction there, but it's actually fairly broad, but you do need a Plant Tuner specific. But what does it do? Let's see. Once per turn, take a Naturia card or a Plant Tuner from the deck, either place it on top of the deck or send it to the grave. Secret Sylvan support, perhaps? That sounded like Sylvan more than Naturia, but okay, what else does it do? Once per turn, this card is in the extra monster zone, does not point to a monster. You can draw one card and reveal it, and if it's a Naturia monster or a plant monster, you can summon it to a zone this card points to. Okay, so basically, if he doesn't point to anything, you just take the card on top of you. Why doesn't it just cheat out the monster? I don't know. It's kind of interesting sort of thing. Not broken. Let's see. Actually, not broken in Naturia thing. Well, no, the seed is not broken. I'm saying that it needs to have a restriction. Otherwise, you're just searching, all the Naturias you want and gaining more normal summons. Saying it has, like, if those both effects were once per turn, it would be better. But other than that, I like the seed. I do. I want the seed to be a real thing. But what else with Bambi? This card let's see. When exactly one monster would be special summoned, tribute this card, negate the summon, destroy that. Okay, so it stops summons. That's cool. And yeah, it just lets you take a monster, put it on top, or excavate it. Or yeah, put it on top of the deck or send it to the graveyard, and then you can also excavate a card. Okay, so it's an interesting monster, made by Scepter dude. Some Scepter guy. Okay. It's an interesting card. I like the artwork more than anything. It's an interesting... It does have a pretty solid 2750 for a Link 3, so... I like it. I like it quite well. I quite like that card. Alright, what else do we have? Naturia Snail. I don't even care what it does. I love the artwork on this thing. Naturia Snail, a level 4 Earth insect. No attack to that. Okay, it makes sense. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate that monster's effect. Summon this card from... Oh my goodness, it's a Naturia hand trap. Oh, I want this one so bad. This is what Naturias could have been if just Konami had just done it a little differently. So basically, your opponent activates a monster effect. You just summon this dude from your hand in defense mode, negate that effect. He's basically Fleur-de-Lis. He's kind of like Fleur-de-Lis. He's just summoning himself out, negating a monster effect. Monsters cannot use their effects. The turn this card is special summoned, except Naturia monsters. Oh, that's beautiful. Naturia's get a floodgatey snail thing. So your opponent they go for their first monster. They activate its effect. You cheat this thing out. Until your opponent gets rid of it, they can't use any monster effects for that whole turn. They can't do it. They got to get rid of the darn thing. Or they got to wait a turn. Either way, I would love to see this card alone. I would love this. Can we get this in the seed in the game? I would really like that. I would like that a lot. This has one more effect. This card was special summoned, can't be used as Xyz material. I don't care. I don't care. Why does it even matter? Naturias are a synchro deck anyway, so... Dude, I would love this to be a thing. Dude, the snail is amazing. I have got to share this with Necro. He loves Naturios. So I am going to... I'll save that later. I'll save that later. But, yes, he will love seeing the snail. Because he loves Naturias. And this would make Naturias just... They'd go from a 2 to a solid 6 if all they got was snail. Because snail is that good. If you include the seed, I don't know, man. Naturias might take over if they got both of these. They might take over. What else do we got? What else do we got? Let's go for a spell. Naturias don't have any... Well, they have spells. We don't talk about them too much, but they do have spells. Naturia Communication, a quick play spell card. Alright, I like the hand-drawn artwork on this. That alone gives it points in my book. Target a face-up Naturia monster. You control a Naturia in your hand or graveyard with a different type. Summon the second target. Okay, so you have out a monster, cheat out one from the grave. Let's see, you cannot special summon a Naturia Synchro with this effect. Unless the first target was a Naturia Synchro. Okay, so you can't cheat out a Synchro unless you're targeting a Synchro, is what this is saying. Okay. Okay, that's that's kind of a weird restriction, but I guess... the Naturia Beast is pretty good Synchro monster on its own. What are the other Naturia Synchro monsters? Let's see, there's Barkion and Landois. Neither of them are that great. Of course, there's other ones here. Let's look at a Naturia Synchro monster. Naturia Big Snake. Let's see, Naturia Viper is a level 7. Alright, that's not bad. Earth, Reptile, Synchro. Okay, he's a reptile, which makes sense, but none of the Naturias are reptiles. Earth Tuner, Earth Monsters. Okay, not bad. When this card is special summoned, change all other monsters on the field to defense position. Does not need to be Synchro summoned for that to work. I like that. When your opponent summons a monster, you can banish a Naturia from the grave to negate the effects of that monster and change them to defense position. Alright. Definitely a floodgatey sort of dude. Just kind of set them up on the board. Your opponent's monsters are going to defense mode. Yeah, but then again, all I have to do is put it... Well, suppose it's not bad. It's an interesting monster. Kind of wish he had like a negation. Well, he's negating the monsters that are special summoned. So, it's alright. I wish he had some protection on top. He's a big snake. You'd think he'd protect himself. But no, he can't do that. Alright. I am liking these Naturia cards so far. Oh, there's not many of them either, are there? Ooh, what's this thing? He looks cool. Oh, wait, this is Naturia Beast's brother. Naturia Beast 2.0. Okay, level 5 Earth. Okay. Wait. Oh, this is literally just Naturia Beast with a different artwork. Okay, that doesn't count. You get 0 points. I'm sorry. Cool artwork, but it's not anything different. Okay, what else do we have? What do we have indeed? Naturia Yggdrasil, a new field spell for the Naturias. Alright, what do you do? Naturia Yggdrasil. However you want to pronounce... Yeah. Yggdrasil, field spell. You only activate this card once per duel. Ooh, that better be good. When this card is activated, add Naturia spell trap from deck to hand, adding the seed. Good. Once per turn, target 2 Naturias in the grave. shuffle them into the deck, draw 1 card. Okay, recovery. I like that. Nothing too broken yet, though. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, add a Naturia monster from deck to hand. You only use each effect once per turn, only once that turn. I mean, I like this card, but at the same time, it's... I don't read anything about this effect that's once per duel. It's not like a massive floodgate or anything. It doesn't make your Naturias immune to everything. It's just, you know, when it's activated, you add 1 Naturia spell. You can recover 2 Naturias once per turn to draw 1 card. Is that broken? If it's destroyed, get 1 Naturia from deck to hand. You gotta remember, unless some of these other things like Snail get printed, there aren't that many great Naturia monsters. So, you know, I don't read once per duel on this field spell, but other than that, it's alright. Okay, so what time are we at? Oh, we're going. Let's go ahead and move away from the Naturias, because there's a few more archetypes I wanted to really look at. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom... Let's look at Insector. Because they're getting a new... We know they're getting new support. I just want to see if there's anything people have made. Okay. Insector Cicada, please load. Please load, Mr. Cicada Man. I'd like to see if it'll load. Come on. You can do it. If you don't load, I'm going to have to go to somebody else. I'm just telling you right now. So if you have something to show to me, you're just going to have to, like... Okay, there we go. Okay, he loaded. Beautiful. Okay, so this is a tuner. That's cool. Insector Cicada, Dark, level 2. Nice. 100 attack, 600 defense. Okay. Once per turn, equip an Insector from hand or graveyard to this card. Alright, so he equips the Insectors. That's good. When this card's equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 2, gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense. Treat it as a... Okay, so we treat other Insectors as tuners. That's pretty cool. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this card to the graveyard and name a card type. Opponent can activate cards of the effects of cards of that type till the end of the turn. Alright, so it's a floodgatey sort of... Okay. It's alright. It's an alright sort of effect. Huh. I mean, it's okay, I guess. Let's look at this thing. Insector Tarantula. Remember, Insectors only get 1 card, so they better make it right. So this is a Dark level 5. Oh, I can barely read that. Can I zoom just a... Okay, that helps a little bit. Okay, what do you do, Tarantula? You can target a face-up Insector monster, equip this card from hand to that target. While this card's equipped, you can Exceed Summon using this card as Exceed material for the Exceed Summon. Alright. This card has its level treated as the same level as the monster it's equipped to when Exceed Summoning. You can okay, so it basically is an Exceed fodder for whatever you want. You can literally exceed into whatever using this, because this is treated as the materials, or it's treated as the same level as the monster it's equipped to. So, that's interesting. What else? So you can banish this card from the grave, target Insector in your grave, except for itself, summon it. You can only use this effect if another copy of Insector Tarantula is banished. Huh. Okay, so, like, the second effect's pretty good, but it needs some setup to work. But then again, if you just play a Lord of Darkness and banish a copy of this, so it's not that bad. Okay. It's all about nothing else. I'm not seeing a lot of Insector cards, which is odd, because you'd think, oh, I'm not, look, that looks like a wall there. 1 second. New Konami policy changes, trying to stay... check out new Konami policy changes. I don't know about the new policy changes, I'm afraid. I'm just here to look at custom cards tonight. I don't know about the policy changes. I haven't been to an event in forever. I have not. Let's look at an Xyz monster. It's an interesting idea of Insectors having an Xyz monster, considering their well, they got a Xyz monster. What am I talking about? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, Insector Heracles. Dark, rank 3. 3 or more level 3 dark monsters, alright. Let's see, what does it do? Also exceed summoners by using a rank 5 or 6 Dark Exceed as material. Okay, so you can stack this on top of either of the existing Exceeds. That's cool. What else does it do? Either player's turn, discards Exceed summoned, or if your opponent special summons exactly one monster while this card's on the field, detach 2 materials, and then look at your opponent's hand. Equip to this card one special summon monster from either field or a monster from either hand. Alright, interesting. So basically your opponent summons something, or this guy gets summoned. So long as he has at least 2 materials, he can steal a monster and then equip it to this dude and give him some, let's see, how many attack? Attack and defense equal to the number of equipped cards times 300. Well, it's a good thing Insectors have their own equipped spells, because otherwise this thing is not going to get that big. It is not going to get that big. Alright, what else do we got here? I was expecting there to be more Insectors. Not going to lie. Alright, what's the next archetype we got here? Let's get Dynamist. Let's see. Wait, hold on a second. Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom Dynamist cards. There we go. Okay, now we've got some stuff. We got some stuff, and so we got some fusions and some links. That's about it. Okay, let's just pick one. Dynamist Potus, who is amazing looking. I like the look of this guy. Level 4 fusion. Okay, so insta-fusion target, perhaps. He's a fusion pendulum. What do? Once per turn, make this card's pendulum scale 6. That's already good, because they're all 3s and 6s. But sometimes you have 2 3s, sometimes you have 2 6s. This guy can be either. When a card effect's activated, you contribute a Dynamist monster. If you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy it. Only uses effect once per turn. So, gives you the ability to negate whatever by just tributing a Dynamist. That I like. What else does he do? He has a whole bunch of other effects, and he has almost no attack. He's a small boy. Let's see. Must first be either fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing the above cards you control, in which case you do not use poly. So you have the option of either using polymerization or don't use polymerization. Either one works. This card can attack your opponent directly. Cool. This guy inflicts battle damage. You can add a Dynamist card from deck to hand. Very nice. He only uses effect once per turn. Once per chain during your battle phase or your opponent's main phase. You can place this card into an unoccupied pendulum zone. Alright, that's an interesting concept. You know, just have this guy attack your opponent directly, add a Dynamist card, and then throw him into your pendulum scale. That way you'll have a negation. The problem being, you need to have another Dynamist on the board in order to use that negation. Otherwise, you don't do much there. So, it's a cool card. I would definitely run this in a Dynamist deck, at least as a one-of, if nothing else. You know, he's pretty cool. I like him. I like him a lot. Who else do we have here? Dynamist Velos. He reminds me of some manga cards I saw a long time ago. Alright, what do you do, my friend? Let's see, you are a level 4 with 1500 attack. Alright, that's not the greatest, but what do? While this card's in the pendulum zone, you can negate an activated card effect that targets a Dynamist, then destroy this card once. So, I mean, once per turn, once per duel. I don't know. If you don't control Dynamist Velos, and this card is face up in the extra deck, you can summon this card. Ooh. That I like. So, basically, if he's in your extra deck, you can just turbo him out if you don't control him. Swarming. Just additional swarming for Dynamist. I like that. Swarming outside of Pendulum. I like that. I mean, they already have that with Sarah up tops and stuff, but, yeah, it's something. Trying to work on it. Yeah, I like your card. I'm not sure who made this card, but I like the card that you made. Let's look at this dude. Oh, wait. No, we might not be able... No, that's way too small to read. Sadness. He looks pretty cool. Mr... What's his name? Draco Venator. He looks pretty cool. Well, let's look at this tongue twister names. Carnotasaur. He looks like a Transformer or a Zoid or something. He's a Link 3 with all downward arrows. That's cool. 2 more machines. This guy gains 100 attack for every Dynamist card you control during your opponent's turn only. Alright. So he's big on the opponent's turn, but not on your turn. Sadness. If you control 4 more Dynamist cards, your opponent can't target other monsters you control for attacks except this one. Okay, so that makes sense. And plus, if you have this with Plesiosaur will weaken your opponent's monsters. This guy makes himself bigger. So, if you have enough Plesioses on the board, then this guy is hard to beat over. Alright. What else do you do? When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control 4 more Dynamist cards, you can, quick effect, tribute a Dynamist monster, negate activation, and then destroy that card. You can activate this effect once per turn. Okay. So it's just another bit of negation for Dynamist. Just a big shield for him, basically. He's an interesting dude. It'd be kind of hard for them to do this. Well, yeah, it would be kind of hard for them to turbo this thing out. So it's an interesting idea, if nothing else. I like the artwork, if anything else. I like it. What else do we got? That's not technically a Dynamist, I don't think. What else do we got? Toon Dynamist. I don't know. Anything can be made into a Toon. That's pretty much it. That guy looks really cool, but I cannot read what his effect is. I cannot read that. Okay, let's go for another archetype. How are we on time? We're almost at an hour. All right, we'll probably go for a little while left. Let's see. Let's look at custom. Let's see. Earthbound Immortal cards. Oh, now we're talking. Now we are talking here, because that looks like some good stuff. That's a lot of stuff. I knew Earthbound Immortals would not disappoint. At least in terms of, like, how much stuff. So, this is Earthbound Immortal Kosha Bar. Chocolate Bar. That's his name. Earthbound Immortal Chocolate Bar. Alright, 3K Beat Stick. What does he do? There can only be one face-up immortal monster on the field. There's no face-up field. Okay, so basic Earthbound Immortal effects. Can select as attack target. Card can attack directly. During the damage step, if this card attacking card destroys the monster by battle, it can make it a second attack in a row. I guess if you really needed to clear the field. If you really needed to clear the field, then you could certainly run this dude. But he kind of goes against the idea of Earthbound Immortals. They're supposed to just attack over stuff. Or not, they're supposed to attack directly. Ooh, what do you? We got Big Gecko Man. You are Earthbound Immortal Coco Sumo guy. Kokosuma. Okay, these names are hard. I don't want to butcher them too hard. Alright, so you are an Earthbound Immortal, level 10 Dark. Reptile, 2500 attack. Let's see, standard effect. Once per turn during either player's turn, your opponent activates a spell card, trap card, or monster effect you can negate and destroy. So basically, it's got an Omni negation. I don't see any other reason to run this. I mean, why would you not run this boy? He's an Omni negating giant gator thing. I guess is he a gator or is he a caiman? I guess he's a caiman. Something like that. He's a big lizard man with an Omni negate. That alone makes him worth running. There's a lot of Earthbound Immortals. Let me tell you. Lots of good Earthbound Immortals here. Earthbound Immortal Quaxotl. Quaxotl. I think I got it that time. The artwork alone, that looks pretty good. What do you do? 2400 attack, 2300 defense. Let's see. Opponent cannot target this card for attacks. Okay, you have a big effect. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip that target to this card. This card gets 200 attack for each equipped card equipped to this card. Okay, so steals your opponent's monsters and makes itself bigger. Plus, you can just equip anything to it. So that is pretty cool. When this card leaves the field because of your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, you can draw a card for every equipped spell. Or not equipped spell, but it's just equipped card equipped to this card. Alright. So, it makes itself bigger. It steals your opponent's stuff. And when it dies, granted it has to be by your opponent. It has to die by your opponent. So, but it lets you draw some cards. So, that alone, that's pretty good. For Earthbound Immortal standards, that's pretty good. Especially if you got like Geoglyph, which, you know, your opponent can't get rid of without getting rid of the Immortal. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go for another dude. Earthbound Immortal, I'm not going to pronounce your name. Okay, I'll try it one time. Zolotl. Nailed it. Alright, you look pretty cool. I don't know what geoglyph that is, but looks pretty cool. Alright, standard effect, blah, 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 blah. While your life points are higher than your opponent's, this card gains attack equal to the difference. Ooh, that's big. That is big. That's like, there was some, there's some Parshath cards like that. Where if you have like Sanctuary in the Sky, then Parshath, I forget the name of the Parshath, but it becomes bigger if you have more life points than your opponent. So this is what that is. It just becomes big. The more you're in the lead with this dude, the more damage it does. What else does it do? Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, target a card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. So you give up a bit of attack points, but you can get rid of their stuff. Let's see. No, the bar on Earthbound Immortals is pretty low. But these cards raise that bar just a bit. Just a smidge. Let's see. So far, Dog, not that great. Cayman, definitely my favorite. The Omni Negator. I like the Snake. I like this dude. Like, these two, pretty good. This guy, pretty good. This guy, kind of meh. But what else? We need some support. Are there any actual support cards for Ancient Immortals in here? Is this one? Yes, it is. Okay, here's an actual other field spell for the Earthbound Immortals. Plane of the Bound Deity. I think we're getting an alien invasion up in here. Let's see. Normal or special summons of Earthbound Immortals can't be negated. That's helpful. Earthbound Immortals are unaffected by an opponent's spell traps. You can tribute an Earthbound Immortal to add an Earthbound card, Bound Deity card, or Nazca Line card, which are more custom cards. They need Swarm Protect. Yeah, they need Swarm. Well, they can't be Swarm because Earthbound Immortals have to stand on their own. They need Tribute fodder is what they really need. They need, like, Tribute stuff. Which is kind of what Konami was trying to do with the whole having Synchros count as 2 Tributes, but they need better than that. They need better than that. So this card, basically, it's much like Mound of the Bound Creator, where it's giving your monster protection. But the thing is, Earthbound Immortals die of the field spell die, so kind of, sort of, Geoglyph is still better for Earthbound Immortals, especially, considering these dudes, because you need the field spell to live more than anything. If the Immortal dies, whatever. You can replace it with something else if you put enough effort into it. You need the field spell more than anything. Let's look at this dude. Okay, this guy, I think I can actually pronounce his name. Grippa. Okay, there you go. I meant Swarm for Tribute. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They need Swarm and Tribute. They need both. You know how Monarchs have Adia and... oh, dude, I can't remember. His name is on the tip of my tag. They got it, they got the Vassals. They need something like that. Okay, so Earthbound Immortal Grippa. Okay, what do? You have questionable attack. That's interesting. And let's see, the Nexus Monster. We'll look at the Nexus Monster. I'll get to it. I saw it. I'm saving it. I want to see some of the other Earthbounds. Let's see. What do you do? This card can attack opponent directly. During the main phase of each player's turn, roll 2 6-sided dice. Oh, no. If the result's an even number, this card gains 3,000. Okay, its attack becomes 3,000. If it's an odd number, this card's attack is 2,500. If both dice are the same, destroy all cards your opponent's side of the field. So it's a dice roll with literally no backdraw, because he's either 3,000, 2,500, or he's 0, but he nukes your opponent's board. And, okay. I don't like that guy as much. Him I don't like. Alright, let's look at the Xyz monster. If it'll load. Okay. Oh, boy. This guy looks like he's gonna... He looks like he's gonna eat my soul. Look at that artwork. It's like, let's see, how many heads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got like 9-headed dragon, dude. Okay, so this guy's name is Earthbound Immortal, Dragon Overlord, Zolotl. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, so this is a Dragon Xyz monster, 4,200 attack, pretty good. 1 Earthbound Immortal and 2 level 10s. Okay, so you don't need just 3 Earthbound Immortals. Thank goodness for that. That would have made it impossible to summon this thing. Must first be Xyz summoned with the above materials. This card's Xyz summoned and effects cannot be negated. Oh boy. That's pretty good right there. What else does it do, though? Once per turn, attach material. Send all other cards on the field to the graveyard. If you do, for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate spell trap cards. I mean, if you're nuking your opponent's board, then you're just going to attack them directly. You don't really need spell traps. The Epiphany, yes, it is. This is a beautiful artwork and a nicely done effect. I mean, summoning this in Earthbound Immortals, probably really hard, but maybe if you combine them with trains, you know, Earthbound trains. If this thing was a real card, I would make an Earthbound train deck just to make this thing. That's all. That's the only reason I would need. So what else does this do? Well, this card's face up on the field. You can't special summon monsters. Makes sense. He's the man who stands on his own 2 feet. You can't even see his feet, but he stands on his own 2 feet. He doesn't want anybody else in the room with him. During each of your end phases, detach a material from this card. If it has no material, it gets destroyed and you take 3,000 down. Okay, so there is a downside to this. You gotta put this boy on the board or you lose, basically. Yeah, you'd have to... I would turbo this guy out. Like, that would be my whole thing. I mean, trains are a rank 10 deck, so in theory you could do it. It'd be tricky to do so, but you could do it. I totally believe that. And there's a synchro version of this? What? Please load. Okay, you did load. Okay, let's look at the synchro variety of Zolotl, Lord of the Immortals. It's literally the same artwork. Possibly the same artist? I think it is. Okay. What level are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you're also level 10. Alright. What does this do? 1 tuner, 2 or more non-tuner. Okay, completely generic. Good. Always treated as an Earthbound Immortal. Cool. Okay, cool. There can only be 1 Earthbound Immortal on the field. There's no face. Okay, so he has the Earthbound... Oh... Why does he have their weakness of needing field spell? Why? That's not necessary. Okay, what else? This card's original attack and defense become 1,000 times the number of synchro materials used to summon. So, let's see. I mean, depending on what you're using, it could be between 5,000 and 6,000, something like that. Of course, that's a bit of a stretch, so let's call it 3,000 for a good measure. Let's see, what else does it do? This card can attack 1 extra time for every non-tuner used to summon it. Alright, so gets 1 additional attack for each non-tuner. So it can attack 3 times. Okay. This card's destroyed, sent to the grave. Through battle or card effect, summon it during the end phase unless it was destroyed by its own effect. If special summoned this way, increase its attack and defense by 500 forever. And it can attack 1 extra time every turn, once per turn. I like the Xyz better. I like the Xyz version better. The Xyz one made me excited. This guy kind of kills the mood, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, he's a little bit of a mood killer. Just a little bit. I mean, again, it looks cool, but he's just the same artwork. All right, let's look at some other... Okay, is that the same artwork a third time? Everyone's just using that same artwork. I don't like that. You have some more creativity there. Let's look at some other Earthbound Immortals. Let's look at this dude. Okay, so this is Earthbound Immortal Roarcoon. Roaring Raccoon. That's a Blue Eyes card. Maybe. Alright, what do we got here? Earthbound Immortal Roarcoon. Okay, standard Earthbound Immortal effect, I'm guessing. Yep. Let's see, attack upon. When this card is summoned, you can draw one card. Okay, well. Alright, that's any kind of summoning, draw one card. So, you could loop that. You'd have to, like, pay an arm and a leg to do it, but you could do it. Once per turn, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can halve your life points, target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it. If you do, for the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. So, what? So this guy steals an opponent's monster. You have your life points, who cares? You steal their opponent's monster. If you steal their monster, they can't do anything for the rest of the turn. That's pretty insane. Just a little bit. I mean, it makes sense with swirly design. He's like mind controlling you, but that's a little nuts, not gonna lie. Alright, Roarcoon actually fairly intimidating. Alright, who do we got next? Big Bird? He can't be any worse than Rororcha. Rororcha? You know, Purple Bird. I can't pronounce his name. Earthbound Immortal Papagayo, also known as Parrot. I like the parrot. What does this parrot do? Let's see. There's no face-up speed. Okay, once per turn, you contribute a monster. Return all set spell traps on the field to the hand. Inflict 300 damage to your opponent. For every card returned to the hand by this effect. Alright. So you can set your own cards, bounce them, and burn your opponent. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, the Xyz monster was the epitome of the Earthbounds. I'm just looking through the rest of them, see if anybody, really impresses me. I like this dude a little bit because he's just like, bounce your set cards, burn your opponent. But there's more to it. Spell traps cannot be activated in response to this activation. Any battle damage is halt. Okay, but yeah, you can set a bunch of spell traps. Or if your opponent has some spell traps set too, bounce them, burn your opponent, you can reset your cards, and then attack directly. You're doing less damage, but it's still just getting over any sort of, like, battle traps and things, which, admittedly, nobody really plays battle traps as often, but it's still pretty cool. I like this guy. He gets a pass. He's not great, but he's cool. I just like the art. He's just like big green parrot. Big green parrot. Let's look at a couple more Earthbounds, and we'll move on to a different different set of cards. Let's see here. I'm very curious about this one because it's been staring at me this whole time. Let's see. Earthbound Immortal. Huacha-Cha-Cha Con. That's his name. Huacha-Cha-Cha. Alright. Standard effect. They all have that standard effect. It's good to know that the people making the custom Earthbound Immortals at least keep them consistent. Oh, and this is made by the dude who did the Xyz, so you know it has to be good. Once per turn, you can turn all spell traps your opponent controls to the hand. Your opponent cannot activate spell traps in response to this activation. When this card on the field is destroyed, except by its own effect, destroy all spell traps on the field, inflict 300 damage to the opponent for every card destroyed. Alright. So, again, it's just clearing out all those annoying spell traps, and then attacking directly. Even if it dies, it'll destroy the spell traps, and then do some burn damage. I like that one. Pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. Nice 27. Well, 2700's not the biggest Earthbound Immortal, but it's alright. It's alright. It's mostly about the effect. Alright, let's look at one more Earthbound Immortal, just because this one's a llama. This guy's a llama. He looks more like a camel, but he's a llama. Earthbound Immortal Lamaka Pakula. Lamaka Pakula. Okay, what do you do? Standard effect. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Send that monster to the grave. If you do, inflict damage equal to half that monster's attack or defense on the field, whichever is higher. Your choice if tied. Alright, so just straight up send monsters to the graveyard. Non-destruction removal plus burn. That's alright. For like, if this was a card back when Earthbound Immortals were first made, he would probably be like, he would be the strongest one just about. And it makes sense for the time, at least. I mean, non-destruction removal, pretty good back when Earthbound Immortals were made, but it's still, I like it. He's not, like, overbearing in terms of Earthbound Immortal power. Alright, so, all in all, I do like the Earthbound Immortal cards people have made. Obviously, our Overlord here is the best one. Like, no joke, would make an entire arc, just make an entire deck around this dude. I'd do that. Alright, let's look at how many time. Okay, we got enough time for a couple more archetypes. We'll see what we got. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, wrong button. Thought I deleted that. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! What archetype do we want to look at now? Let me think. Kind of want to look at, like, reactors. Let's see. Custom cards. Alright, ooh, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't know if this has anything to do with the reactors. Yes, they actually do. Okay. We'll take a look at some of these. Reactors is one of those archetypes I feel like I actually deserve some support in some way, shape, or form. There we go. Okay. Prototype Reactor Sf. I love the artwork. It's literally just Summon Reactor, but like more like a real plane. I like that quite a bit. What is this card? Level 4 Wind. I like that. Machine Tuner. No attack, 800 defense. This guy has a wall of text. Cannot synchro summon using this card's material, unless the other materials are dark machine reactors, in which case this card is treated as a dark monster. Huh. I guess that's in loop. That's like for Dark Flat Top, or maybe the guy who made this was like turning Skyfire into a synchro. I don't know. Once per turn, you can increase or reduce this card's level by 1. Alright. Variable tuner level. That's nice. If you have no monsters, or if you control a dark machine reactor, you can summon this guy from the hand. Okay, that's good. See, it's a start for react. I mean, reactors don't have anything, not really. So it's like anything you do to them is better than nothing. Let's see, what else does this do? You contribute this card, summon a dark machine reactor from the deck, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except dark machine synchro monsters. Okay, so it turbos out summon reactor. And it locks you to dark synchros, but reactors are all about, you know, dark and stuff. So that's all right for reactor standards. Let's see. This card is special summoned from the grave. Banish it when least feel. Okay, don't care. All right. So all in all, for like by reactors bare minimum standards, it goes up to here, just a little bit, just a wee bit. All righty. So that's cool. I like that. Is there anything else? Okay, there's a field spell. I like that. Let's look at a reactor field spell. All reactor, Final Fortress, Skyfire, and Dark Flat Tops gain 300 attack and defense. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. I need swarming. I need other things. If a reactor monster activates its effect, you can add a reactor monster from deck to hand. Once per turn, you can summon SK, Wi-Fi, or RE from hand or grave. Okay, that alone is good. So basically, if your reactor activates its effect, search a reactor, and then once per turn, you can bring out one of the reactors from hand or grave. So, I would have preferred a, well, field spell's more searchable. Well, yeah, this card's alright for reactors. It's a start. Could have used some protection or maybe something Skyfire or easier. But, I mean, by Reactor standards, like I said, anything's good. Anything's good by Reactor standards. Is this guy a Reactor? Not really. Let's just look at one more and move on to something else. Nobody cares about Reactors. Nobody cares about them darn Reactors, man. Nobody cares about the poor boys. Okay, tune Reactor Turret. Okay? If you have 2 Reactor monsters, you can summon this from the hand. You can special summon Reactor, SK, Wi-Fi, or RE from hand deck or... Okay. So, you use this in conjunction with that field spell. Basically, you have 1 reactor, you bring back another with the field spell, and then you cheat out the 3rd with this. Meh. Plus, it's a tuner. So, you can do synchro stuff with it, too. Which is probably better than something Skyfire. Alright. So, I guess people at least tried to do some custom, what do you call them? Reactors. They tried. Did it work? Not really. Alright, let's just look at a few more cards tonight. What's a good one? Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom cards. What? Group? Archetype? Thinking. I see Raw. Let's see. Custom Egyptian God cards. I didn't really... let's see. Okay, we'll look at this one. Slifer's Disciple. I mean, Raw has a Disciple, so obviously Slifer deserves one as well. I'm just saying, you know, he deserves something. Alright, what do we got? Light, level 2. Fatty, 600, 1100. If you control no monsters, you can summon this from the hand. Okay, cool. You only use this effect once per turn. If summoned this way, you can summon 2 Disciples from a hand and or deck. But for the rest of this duel, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. Okay, so basically, this is giving you your tribute fodder. And just really easy. You just summon this dude out. Summon 2 Disciples from hand or deck. So, automatically getting 3 tributes for that monster. That good old Egyptian god boy. And, you know, you don't really need the extra deck in an Egyptian god deck anyway, so that's not very relevant there. Can't be tributed except for the tribute summon of a divine monster. Cannot special summon except for disciple monster. Yep. Oh, I like that. I also like that his armor is like Slifer's head. You notice that's his head right there. And he's got a big old honking sword. Alright, I like that. I mean, the other Egyptian gods deserve support too. It's not just about Ra, you know. Ra gets all the support. Why don't the others get more? I mean, I know they got recent support, but I'm talking more. Okay, Obelisk Disciple. Do you do mostly the same thing? Let's see. Can't be tributed except for a divine monster. You cannot special summon except for disciples. If you tribute summon a divine monster by tributing 3 disciples with different names, including this one, it gains the following effects. Unaffected by spell traps. Unaffected by monsters' activated effects, except for monsters' original level rank, equal or higher to that card's current level. Okay, so basically, you tribute this boy and 2 whatevers for Obelisk. Obelisk gets more protection. But the problem is, this guy can't swarm. So, Slifer's Disciple is still better because this has swarming. It doesn't protect Slifer, but it makes it easier to summon Slifer. So, it's still better there. Anything else? You think there'd be more Egyptian god cards? Actually, let's just look up custom god cards and see if that changes anything. No, not really. Not really. Oh, I just thought of something. Let's see. Custom outer entity. Actually, how would I... Let's see. Entity. There we go. There we go. I want to see if there's any outer end. There we go. There's my boys. Good old Elder Entities, Outer Entities. I love that archetype. I want to see them get more support. Let's look at some Spell Trap support. Dream of the Blind Idiot Entity. He's not an idiot. How could you say that? He looks like a perfectly respectable individual. What does this card do? Let's see. Azathoth cannot be destroyed or banished. Azathoth is banned, so it doesn't matter, sadly. Okay, once per turn, you can target a Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz in the grave, and a face-up Azathoth on your field. Attach that target to Azathoth. Okay, so this card's irrelevant because Azathoth is banned, but I get the idea. You're putting materials on Azathoth so he can do his nuking. So, at least it fits into entities, because that's what entities do. Or it's what they used to do, you know, back when Azathoth wasn't banned. Let's look at what this card... Old Entity Yogg-Saron, who is immediately... Look at this guy in his smile. He's got so many smiles, he has more than one mouth. I like him already. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, generic level 4 Synchro. You do what? If this card's Synchro summoned, draw a card for every other Xyz, Synchro, or Fusion you control. The more you got, the more you draw. If this card is used as Fusion material for a Fusion summon, as if you could use Fusion materials for... Well, that joke doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work. Draw one card. So this guy just keeps drawing you cards. He just keeps drawing you more cards. When an Xyz monster is summoned using this card as material, attach level 4 lower monster from graveyard to that monster's material. Okay, it fits into the theme. You know, you're going for Nyarla. You're just getting as many different types of cards on Nyarla. So then you rank up into Azathoth, who is banned. And this guy helps doing that. So, I like that. Honestly, I just like him for the artwork more than anything else. Look at him. He looks so happy. He looks like such a happy boy. Alright, what else we got? There's... Ooh, Yogg-Saron. This is a ritual monster? I like ritual monsters. Alright, so this is a divine... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Yeah, 12 stars. I was seeing if it was a 13. Let's see. Fiend Ritual. Summoning with Whispers of the Old Gods. That is a ritual spell. Can't be summoned by other ways. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's ritual summoning. When ritual summoned, roll a 110-sided die a number of times, equal to the number of spells in the grave. I don't own a 110-sided die. What else? Okay, what does that do? Or until, let's see. Or until this card leaves the field, then apply the results. 1. Draw 2 cards. But what does this effect do? Etc. Can I just make up 3 other effects? Let's see. Yeah. I think someone forgot to finish this card. I like the idea, but you gotta finish your cards, my dude. Ooh, Tentacly Man. N'Zoth, the World's Nightmare. Possibly World Chalice support. Maybe. Not really. Okay, so this is another level 12 ritual monster. Also treated as a water monster, so he's water dark. Monster can only be ritual summoned with the ritual spell, Waking of the Nightmare. Okay. Must be ritual summoned without using any level 12 monsters. It cannot be special summoned by other ways. Is this a Necroz card or something? Let's see. After this card's ritual summoned, skip your opponent's next turns. That says turns. It's supposed to be turn. Okay. Summon him. Skip your opponent's next turn. He's the world, but immediately. You don't have to worry about any setup. He just immediately skips your opponent's turn. Okay. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't say turn. Your opponent's next turns draw... Oh. Never mind. He's not the world at all. He's immediately disqualified. Immediately. Okay, so your opponent doesn't get to draw. Big deal. Once per turn during either player's turn, your opponent... let's see. Your opponent would summon a monster or activate a spell, trap, or monster effect. Ditch a dark or water monster from hand to grave to negate the summon or the activation and then destroy that card. Okay. There's another Omni Negator sort of deal. During the end phase of the turn, this card, special summoned, discard all the cards in your hand. Wow. Okay, interesting. You can only special summon one of this dude once per duel. I mean, if he banished darks or waters from your graveyard in order to use his effect, that might be a little bit better, but man, he costs you your whole hand. For only 3,500, not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Let's look at some more spell traps for this archetype, because that's the thing that I really feel that the entities need. I mean, they need normal summonable monsters. But let's look at some spell traps. Unnatural Arrival. Reveal an outer entity exceeds in your extra deck. Okay, easy to do. Banish monsters whose total combined levels are equal to or more than the revealed monster's ranks. Okay. Summon the revealed monster and attach this card to his material. Okay. Throw reveal a rank 4, banish a rank 4, summon out the rank 4. Okay. It's something. They need a new rank 4 to make it worth it, but it's something. Let's look at this dude, because look at that dude. He looks like he's in so much pain and anguish. Outer entity offspring. What birthed this? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. What do you do? If you special summon an entity, while this card's in the hand, you can special summon it. Alright. Swarming. Every old janky archetype needs just a little bit more swarming. It's so important nowadays. Just lots more swarming. Let's see. What do you do? Once per turn, increase or decrease this card's level by 1. I don't know why I do want to decrease it, but okay. This card is used as material for an exceed summon of an outer entity. Treat this card as a fusion, synchro, or exceed card type. Your choice. I think there's some ruling issues with that, but I just like the fact that this guy can summon himself, so we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that, and we'll be fine there. Let's look at a few more cards here. It's got to be one outer entity card on here that's going to, like, wow us to death. Let's look at this. Nah, that effect's too small to be anything good. No. Okay, let's look at this dude. Outer entity Chaos Nyarla. Alright, Nyarla got an upgrade, and somebody's got a bellyache there. Wee bit of a bellyache. Level 5 fusion. Needs Nyarla and an entity. Alright, interesting. Must be special summoned from the extra deck by sending these cards you control to the grave. Don't use poly. Alright, that makes it a little easier. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target an entity in the grave, discard a number of cards equal to that monster's level, then summon that card, ignoring its summoning conditions. But destroy it during the next end phase. If this card's used as material to summon an entity, draw 2 cards. I mean, the second effect is so much better than the first. You're discarding so many cards to revive a card. Is it really ever going to be worth it? I don't know. But, you know, if you just use this as material for whatever entity card, you're drawing 2 cards. That alone, I mean, it takes some setup to do that, though, so I don't know. I think the bar is starting to drop here. People are not understanding the entities too much. No, they need to do more. How about Shoggoth? Shoggoth won't disappoint us. Good old Shoggoth. Alright, level 4 Dark Fiend, Tuna. This card can be treated as a level 2 non-tuner for the synchro summon of an entity Okay. So it's a tuner that can be treated as a level 2 non-tuner for some reason. Interesting. I mean, you'd still need a level 2 tuner. Okay, interesting. This card can be treated as a synchro monster for the fusion summon of an elder entity monster. Okay. Can be treated as... Okay, this card has as an Xyz monster. Yeah, I can't talk right at the moment. This card as an Xyz material attached to an outer entity is treated as a fusion monster. I would have preferred... There needs to be more methods of bringing out the extra deck, not just treating the main deck as extra deck. I don't know. Let's look at some more spells. The monsters are just not very... The monsters aren't done too well here. Waking the Sleepers. Okay, target 2 old entities, up to 2, in the grave. Banish monsters from hand or grave whose total combined levels are equal to or more than the targeted monsters. Specials. The entities have level 4's minimum. You can't just banish that. You need 8 cards to bring back stuff. It's too much. Oh, that guy looks cool. Where's that card? Where is that guy? I don't see him. I don't see him. Alright, hold on. Search. That didn't help. That did not help. Alright. I thought for a second we were going to get to see somebody cool, but not quite. Come on, there's got to be one Elder Entity or something. Let's look at this dude real quick. Maybe he won't disappoint us. Outer Entity, Evolutionary Necrosis. I mean, just the artwork alone looks pretty good. Surprisingly, not a zombie. If you control an Outer Entity monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, pay 200 life. If you do, this card is treated as a fusion, synchro, or Xyz material, or as an Xyz card. This card would be destroyed, sent to the grave. You can attach this card to an Xyz instead. Okay. I was expecting so much better out of the entities. I was expecting so much better. I mean, you'd think someone would have designed something better, but no. But then again, entities are such a weird archetype anyway, so maybe it makes more sense. Alright, it's been an hour and a half here. It's been an hour and a half here, but let's, alright, yeah, it'll be enough for today. Alright, everybody. Thank you very much for watching today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Probably, we'll do this again sometime. I'll have to figure out some other archetypes that, you know, maybe I'll search some first to make sure that there's more stuff for them. But, I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, I enjoyed it very much. There were some really cool cards on here. So, especially the snail. I love Naturia Snail. Naturia Snail is my new... Well, I can't replace Kriboh as my spirit animal, but if I could, it would be that snail. Okay, don't tell Kuriboh. Okay, but anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you much enjoyed. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Y'all take care of yourselves. Keep staying safe. 2020 is almost over. COVID's not over yet, but 2020 is almost over. 2021, let's hope for the best. So I'll see you guys again next time. Your boy Memphis will